Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. In this video I want to talk about money and minimalism and how I apply like a money mindset or how I handle money as a minimalist. This subject can be controversial and a lot of people have very strong opinions about it, and I will just try to share my opinion, and I hope you can see it as my opinion. And of course you can have all other opinions and you can leave them in the comments below if you want to, but I will share my perspective on how I ideally want to handle money and what I need for a living. I'll show you the analytics of my YouTube channel so you can see how much I earn from YouTube and what I plan to do in the future. If you're new here, my name is Leah. I upload videos about sustainability and minimalism, so if you're interested in these topics, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And now let's get started with one very important thing, I think, when it comes to money. I believe that money cannot make us happy, but I also believe that the lack of money can really cause a lot of problems and make us unhappy. So while I do not plan to ever get super wealthy, and I also don't just say, oh, money does not make us happy, so just don't care about money. I don't think that's true. I think money is an important thing, but we have to be careful with money because a lot of unethical things happen with money. And also, I think money itself is not worth pursuing as a goal itself. So I think money can solve a lot of problems that we might have, but we should not think that money itself will ever make the difference of like us being happy or super unhappy. But I of course wish for everybody to at least have enough money so they don't have to worry about paying their bills. So now I want to share what I want money to do for me, or how much money I want, or how I want to handle money. I of course want to have enough money to not worry about paying my bills, surviving, keeping this apartment and things like that. I also want money to give me a certain amount of freedom so that I can choose what to spend it on, that I can buy organic foods, that I can buy sustainable products, and that I have a certain amount of freedom to travel or do things that I really like. I also ideally don't just want to work for money, like with the only purpose of making the most money possible. I want to have some free time. I want my work to have a purpose so that I feel like I'm working for this planet and for its people and not just for the money in order to have more money or pay my bills. And in order to achieve that, I think there are of course two main things, like limiting your spending and making enough money. So with limiting your spending, I think minimalism has helped a huge deal with that for me, because I now as a minimalist really know what I need, so I won't buy things that are unnecessary. And I also just decluttered a lot of things that I would pay on a monthly basis, or I really pay close attention to what I spent my money for, and I think about what is worth it for me when it comes to spending money. I do want to say that I do spend a lot of money for sustainable products. Sometimes I pay 3 times, 4 times the price that I would pay for a cheap product that you could get on Amazon or something like that, and I do choose to spend a lot more because I want the product to be sustainable, and I want to get the product that I actually really want, to make sure that I don't have to buy a new one in a few months. I totally understand that for some people it's the best solution to buy the cheapest product just because you don't have any more money to spend on that, or buy something secondhand because there you can get good deals and still get a good quality item. And that's also what I do. I buy a lot of things secondhand. I do just not buy a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I just don't have because I think I don't need them, even though they are maybe considered to be must-have items or things that a lot of people have. I, for example, also do not have a car. One reason is just sustainability, and because of course it's possible living in a city like I do, and also just because it would be a very expensive thing to pay for parking, pay for gas, pay for insurance, pay for the car itself. So because it works in my life, I choose to not own a car, even though sometimes it would be practical and it would be nice to have one, but for my life it makes sense to not have one out of financial and sustainable reasons. So now I just want to tell you how much my life costs. Or first let's start with how much money does leave my bank account every month. I just changed my bank accounts so that I have only one main bank account now, and I will show you the numbers for November and December of 2020. So both in November and December, approximately 2,000 euros left my bank account. I will put the number how much that is in US dollars on the screen so maybe more people can understand what that means. I do want to say that I live in a very expensive city when it comes to cities in Germany and when it comes to like renting apartments, but I also want to say that we were pretty lucky after like searching for 2 years and not finding an apartment. We found an apartment that is relatively inexpensive for the city we live in. But with that said, it's not a fancy apartment at all. It's not big. It's just really the basic that you could get anywhere. It's like super badly insulated. We don't have an office to work in, even though we both work from home. We just have a very small kitchen and a very small bathroom, and it does not have an elevator to come up here. But we are super lucky that we have an apartment because it's so hard to find one here. So let's break down the costs. Now I'm looking on my phone because I have the numbers here. So that's why I look on my phone. So you see the same here on the screen. The things are in German, so I will explain what it is. So from the like almost 2,000 euro that left my bank account in November, over 1,000 were for the household. Like Haushalt means household, and with that, this category is just for rent, like water, electricity, and bills like that. And then the next category with almost 500 euros is food. Like that also covers the food that my son has at school. So we pay, every month we pay over 100 euros for him to eat at school. Even though now it's lockdown, we still pay that money, even though he's not getting that lunch. That's like a huge part of that because over 20% of the money I spend for food is for his lunches at school that are absolutely not every day, but that's just how it is, and we need that like service to be able to work, because otherwise I would have to pick him up before 12 o'clock at noon, and like that I could not get any work done. The next thing is Versicherung, which means insurance, and that's just my health insurance. Since I'm still a student, even though I'm done studying, I still have like the student benefits until I'm like really done studying, which is in February, where I won't be part of like a student in a university anymore. So starting March, I think I will pay a lot more on health insurance. And this one is just like the public mandatory health insurance, which is usually a lot cheaper than private health insurance. But I actually tried to get into private health insurance when I moved to Germany from Switzerland, but they denied me because I only have one kidney, because I had cancer as a kid, and so they said I am not allowed to be in that private health insurance because they fear that I would be a very expensive patient, possibly. So I am in public health insurance, and that actually these 105 euros, they do cover my son and me when it comes to health insurance. So that's great, and I'm very happy for that, but it will get a lot more expensive, I think, double the price in March. So the next category, Gesundheit and Drogerie, is like for pharmacy and health things. Now I'm super happy that I don't have to have any medication, but that was actually for a test to get tested for the virus. And then the other is actually my phone bill. I have a really, really cheap phone contract, which does not cover anything, but it's enough for me, so it's only 5 euros. Now let's take a look at December. In December, you see the same picture, a lot of money, like more than half of our money for rent and household related stuff, almost 500 euros for food. Then Familie und Freunde means family and friends, and that is just what I spent for Christmas presents. Then again, insurance, health insurance, there is just another thing, I don't know, I think I put some money on my son's bank account because he gave it to me in cash and I put it on the bank account. And then the category other again is my phone bill, and that's about what it looks like each month. Now as you can see, there were no major things, there was no shopping, there was no like buying something here and there. So I set 2,000 euros also to show you that I don't want to rely on knowing that it's less than 2,000 euros a month, because it can possibly be a lot more. A few months ago we had to get a new washing machine, or sometimes I have like a train ticket to Switzerland, which is like over 100 euros, and then if I take the train there, it's again another 100 euros. So sometimes my month can be a lot more expensive, but if we just have the basics, if I don't spend any money except for what is like basic needs or what I need to buy almost every month, then we are at almost 2,000 euros. Now, where do these 2,000 euros come from? In Switzerland, the law says that parents have to support their children until they're done with their first education or turn 25. Now, I'm done and I'm 25, so since this summer, I do not get any money anymore from my parents or any other, like for students or anything. So there's no money like that hitting my bank account. The money that I do get is something like child benefit for my son. That's a few hundred euros a month. And I also get paid some money from my boyfriend because we share like all our bills 50-50, and I pay the rent from my bank account. So there's some money coming from him and some money for all the bills that like I pay out of my bank account for our household, for the house. So these things added up together are 1,000 euros that already come to my bank account each month, like with child benefit and the things my boyfriend pays to make it half-half. So to cover the bills that and cover the costs that go out each month, I need to make another 1,000 euros. And these other 1,000 euros have come from YouTube during the past few months. Now I'm super happy that after only a little more than a year, I can earn this much money from YouTube. But you have to know that the money that I will show you right now in my YouTube studio, where it shows me how much money I made from AdSense, this is before taxes, and it's also not like included all the things that I spend for my business. For this YouTube channel, I have already spent, I think, 2,500 euros in 2020, for 2,000 euros for a new camera, and also some like the other 500 euros for hard drives and cables and microphones and things like that. So let me show you what amounts I made from YouTube. So this is the YouTube studio where I see everything that I have earned, and I brought this up to you so you can exactly see how much it is each month. Now you see the month of December, where I actually made over 1,000 euro, which was my second most successful month. Month of November, I made 910 euros. Month of October was my most successful month, where I made 1,241 euros. The month of September was almost 600. A month of August a bit over 600, and then July and June were just something under 100 euros. Now, for all the months prior to that, I did not make any money, because you are required to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours on your channel in order to get monetized. Another thing that I think is very interesting is that I get paid my money in euros because I live in Germany and that's the currency we have here. But a lot of my viewers are from the US, and so the money gets converted into euros from US dollars. And during the month of November until December, the currencies changed. So the euro became much more valuable, but of course I don't realize that here because I still pay the same amount of money for food and for things. So I lost at least $25 just because of this change in currencies. Because when we look at the dollar amounts that I made, it's the difference between November and December is much higher than when we look at the amount I made in November and December if it's in euro. And that is something I have to think about. And other thing is that, as you can see here, it's very inconsistent. I can really not know how much money I will make in January, February or March. Also, another thing that commonly happens to YouTube channels is that they make a lot less money in January and February because it's the start of the month. Businesses somehow do not want to pay the same amount of money for ads as they do at the end of the year, when they hope to get customers to buy things for Christmas, and when they just, I think, spend all of their budget they had for advertising during that year. So I think that I will make a lot less money in January and February, but we will see. And if you're interested in knowing, I can maybe make another video about that. So as you can see, right now I have pretty much everything covered that leaves my bank account each month. So it's not a super sustainable or good position to be in right now, because I get in the exact amount that goes out each month. There's no plus, there's nothing I can save. But I do also want to say that I do not have any student loans or any other like debts or credit card debt or anything like that. So I'm super lucky to be in this position, to not having to pay back money to other people. And I also have saved up some money, which would be is an emergency fund to just buy things if something breaks, or also to support us as a family for quite a few months if we needed to take that money from that emergency fund. So I am in a good position. Looking at it from that perspective, I won't run out of money right now, but also it's not the position that I want to be in. One thing I mentioned earlier is that my health insurance will get a lot more expensive in a few months. So I need to make more money, or I need to take it from my savings, and I don't want to do that. One option will be applying for a job in social work, which is what I graduated in fall. And the other option is making more money from YouTube, spending less money, but I think that's almost impossible because, as you said, I don't really spend money for extra things like shopping, but I stick to the bare minimum as much as possible. In the long run, my goal is to start saving for retirement because I'm 25 years old. I think it's a good time to start thinking about that. And of course, I want to make just a little bit more than I actually need because this is such an inconsistent stream of income. I also want to diversify it a little bit because you can really not rely on YouTube as an income. Luckily, I graduated in social work, so whenever it would happen that YouTube suddenly said, I cannot monetize my videos anymore, nobody can earn money from YouTube anymore, when a thing like that would happen, I think I could get a job in a matter of a few weeks or months. And as I told you, I would have the amount of money saved up to cover the bills during the time I maybe would not have a job and not get paid from YouTube. So I am aware that this is not a sustainable income in that way, that kind of fluctuate a lot, and that is not the thing to rely on, and it's just not like a regular job. But I also see that there's a lot of potential, and I also want to see where it's going from here. I really enjoy creating these videos. I really enjoy being a creator, and also would enjoy being a full-time creator. So maybe that is what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm not going to apply for a job in social work. We will see where it goes, and I will monitor my earnings and my spendings as we go on into 2021, just to see where I'm at and if I need to apply for a job. Right now, the only main concern for me is that my health insurance is gonna be more expensive. And another thing I want to say is taxes. I can bring up the whole year of 2020 for you, and you can see that I have earned 4,500 euros. Now, again, keep in mind that I spent 2,500 for my business. And also, I don't know if you know, I don't know if that's similar in different countries, but in Germany, you don't have to tax money as long as if it's under 9,000 or something like that. There's a certain amount where you don't have to pay any taxes, just because it wouldn't be enough to survive off, so they won't take out taxes, because if they take out taxes from that money, you then have to apply for services because you don't have enough money to survive. I think that's very practical, because this year, the year of 2020, I don't think I will need to pay any taxes when it comes to that. Also, I'm a very, very small business, so there are no business related taxes so far, but that will likely change in 2021. So I have to be careful monitoring how much I earn to then put back some money to pay for taxes, because most likely that will happen, or hopefully I will earn more than 9,000 euros in 2021, and then this money will be taxed. I will have to pay taxes from it. Of course, I also don't want to not pay taxes, because I think taxes are a great system to keep the infrastructure high and good in countries, and to just make sure that we have a lot of infrastructure, good infrastructure. Of course, with tax money, there are also bad things that are happening, but I don't like try to avoid them, but I try to just look after myself, see what I need, not make too much, not spend too much, and of course if I need to pay taxes, I will pay taxes. So I think that's it when it comes to my money situation right now. As you see, I'm like a full-time creator right now, barely making it, but I'm super happy to be at this place, and I want to thank you because you are a huge part of making this possible for me. And let me know if you're interested in seeing more content related to money and how I spend and earn money. And also let me know if you have any suggestions on what I could do or what product or things you would enjoy me making. I thought about making a Patreon account, or maybe making like a podcast, or like YouTube membership, or things like that. So just let me know if you have any ideas that you think would be good. Let me also know how you earn your money or how you manage your money as a minimalist, if you think minimalism helps with not spending too much money. And I hope you like this video. If you want to see more videos, I link you a video and a playlist right here that you can check out if you want. And I also hope to see you next time. Bye!